I am an artistic son of Professor Yatco. In behalf of the widow of Professor Oscar C. Yatco, Bridget Yatco, also known as Frau Gitti, I would like to relay her thanks for this recognition. In response, she wrote me this letter to read. Dearest Renato, this is a posthumous citation of a Filipino-born artist who died 10 years ago. He who since your teen years had been supporting and guiding your career as an artist, solo cellist, conductor, academic, father, and even as a cultural administrator. I have heard about your NAMSA, which was conferred Agawad CCP decades ago. I suppose today's generation does not even remember Professor Yatco's name and his incredible achievement in orchestral development in the Philippines, starting in the 60s of the past century and ending in his demise in 2014. Many of the young people today won't even remember the days when the cultural center was not even built and the land on which it was constructed had not even been reclaimed from the sea. But Mrs. Yatco, she's writing here in the third person now, remembers very clearly these years when her husband left Germany after 10 years of studies, gave up a very promising career here in Germany, returned home in order to dedicate his life and establish his future career to the development of the Manila Symphony Orchestra, or MSO, personally worked to finance the regular monthly salaries of the orchestra members, something never heard of before, a substantial amount coming even from his own pocket. The Manila Symphony Orchestra became the leading orchestra of the Philippines, perhaps even Southeast Asia then, with countless annual performances, established annual season concerts with great Filipino and international artists, institutionalized free symphonic performances at Concert at the Park, traversed the country for outreach and school concerts, conducted musicals, especially at St. Paul's College then, operas at Far Eastern University Auditorium, and of course, command performances at Malacanang for major diplomatic visitors. Artistically speaking, these were very exciting and successful years for the Manila Symphony Orchestra and its music director. OCY, Oscar C. Yatco, had, quote-unquote, justified expectation that the Cultural Center would turn it into a national orchestra once the Cultural Center would open. But things developed differently in the CCP. After 10 years of fruitful work with the MSO, Professor Yatco returned to Germany during the martial law with his wife and 3 children and started there again, quote-unquote, from scratch at the age of 44. MSO, or Manila Symphony Orchestra, was fiscally exhausted as well. So this is my comment. Literally, Professor Yatco was an artistic refugee, so to speak. He only returned to conduct in Manila when the then First Lady, Mrs. Imelda Marcos, asked him for this favor. The CCP Philharmonic Orchestra, it was the name then, at that time needed a complete new start after the demise of its conductor, Professor Luis Valencia, and OCY, Professor Yatco, took charge of it. First, he became the music consultant and later music director until 1997, renaming the orchestra as the Philippine Philharmonic Orchestra. Although permanently based in Germany, where he held a full-time professorship for violin at the Hochschule für Musik, Hanover, or Hanover State Academy of Music, he continued to commute regularly after 1997, conducting the Philippine Philharmonic Orchestra as conductor laureate and performing as violin soloist until 2014. Although by then he had become a German citizen on account of his professorship, which is a civil servant status, he always remained a Filipino at heart, exerting all possible efforts, raising the standard and appreciation of Philippine music in general, meaning music created and recreated by Filipinos until his demise in 2014. Thank you from Gitti Yatco.